Hello everyone, I'm back again. Since it's getting down to the wire, I thought I'd start doing a daily update. So let me show you what I've done today. So the goal is to now make the driver's side look like the passenger side. So what I did was, first off, I bonded the fender in, got rid of my tabs that I had, and then bonded that together. It needs some finish work, but it's basically there. I've been making little panels and using panels that I previously had, scraps, and filling in blanks here and there. So that's the advantage of using my approach of using these already done body panels instead of carving stuff from scratch using foam or whatever, is that all I have to do is take these pieces, reuse them, graft them in, and then bond them and blend them. So what I did was I went over to the passenger side and took measurements off of this front section right here. I really thought this was going to be very difficult to get to match, but what I found out was when I made it, I used a lot of the C8 stuff and a lot of the C2 stuff that was already there, and pretty much just made connecting pieces between the two. So if you come over here, that allowed me to use a panel that I already had that I had cut off from that back section there and just repurposed it right here. So the body curve, this is off of the door where that curve is. I flipped it upside down. You can see the curve right there in Sharpie. Flip that upside down, match the curve. There's the seam right there. That was a big gap. Now the gap is filled. I went in on the back side and put some of that aluminum tape, the insulated stuff that has the really sticky glue, foam type glue on it. So tomorrow I will go in and fill in that gap with fiberglass, do a little contouring. Oh, let's see, and then that template I made from the entire other side, that's what you see right there. That allows me, I know where the back edge of the wheel opening is, and then therefore I know where that door rear opening is. I purposely cut that piece long. There was a hole right there where there was vents, but I cut it long because I knew at some point I had to trim it, and of course it's easier to trim it down more than to add. Let's see, this panel right here that I put on the other side, I did it real thin on purpose. So just to get, it was to make sure that the distance from any of the features is the same between the two sides. I could take this skin, stick it on the other side, and the wheel opening, the door opening, that rear of the fender, the wheel opening for the front, it all will match exactly because that's where it came from. It was a pain to take all of that aluminum tape off that I used on the other side. That's because I left it on for several days. It came off easily immediately, the pieces I took off, but a lot of it I left on there. That was a mistake. I won't make that mistake again. I decided to change the wheel opening from the squared off. Since I could not get it to look right, I'm going to go ahead with a rounded wheel opening. It's kind of faked here with paint, but that's what it's going, pretty much what it's going to look like. I'm probably going to lower the top edge a little more to make it look like the body is lowered on the car. I'm not positive about that, but I made some wheel openings, some of 3 or 4 of them, so that allowed me to put them in place and move them until I get the right look. Let's see. All right, so tomorrow I am probably going to work on the vents. So there's the 3 vents that I have. So tomorrow I will work on cutting them, arranging them, making them fit. I do have that spare one. I couldn't figure out why I had made a spare because I really don't need it. But then I realized this gives me one that I can cut up, experiment with, get the spacing the way I want it. And if I cut too much, it's not a big deal because I haven't cut one of the real ones. So it gives me a practice run basically. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow, is cut this one, try to get it to exactly the way I want the 3 vents to look. If it works, then I will transfer the measurements to these 3 and do that. Oh, let's see. I've decided to go ahead and leave the vent on this side the way it is. Not the way it is, but I mean the shape and such, the general idea. Underneath those 3 vents are fiberglass vents that all 3 came off of this mold. So they're identical. There's really no reason why those 3 vents should ever have not been identical to the mold. So my question now is, do I make 3 more, basically start over from scratch, or do I cut those out, remove all the body filler that's on there, and go back to what has to be under there because that's what started, unless it got cut out, which I don't think it did. I hope it didn't. Anyway, that's what I think I'm leaning towards, is to go ahead and just cut out that section and then cut apart all 3 of those vents and go back to the pieces that look like that were made off the mold, align them and fix that. I think that'd be faster than, I don't know, kind of a toss-up. Might be faster to do those from scratch now that I've gotten to where I can make parts pretty quick. I don't know, but it has to be cut out anyway, so I might as well cut it out and then see what I've got and then decide from there whether to make 3 new vents or fix those. This is the front wheel opening where I cut it and rounded it. That's basically the idea of what I'm going for. My question was to make it look like the car has been lowered. Oh, and then when I was looking, there was this body line right there had a dip in it. So my body guy fixed that. Is in the process, not 100% fixed, but is in the process of fixing that. We tried to put the headlights in and they don't exactly fit. They're real close. When I ordered them, they wanted me to take the measurement of that opening. I took the measurement and it was a tight fit initially. I didn't worry about it, but right now after we've mounted everything, it's more than tight. So we're going to have to do something to work on that. This is the wheel opening, one of the many. I used it as a mask when I was faking the wheel opening here. If you look, the wheel opening is still the original one down here. I just used this as a mask for paint to get it to look round. So the advantage of this is if I don't like it, I can quickly visually change it until I get it to where I want it. So what I'm going to do is paint this white, then come over to here, and I'm wondering if it would look like the body was lowered on the car if I were to put this on here and basically have the top of the wheel opening down like that instead of up like that. So lower it, what is that, an inch, inch and a half. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint it, mount this, screw this on, see if I like it better that way or not. Let me know what you think. If you can't envision what I'm talking about now, in the next day or two, I will actually trim this, paint it, and mount it so you can see. It'll be another one of those A or B. Which one do you like better? All right, that's where I'm at. It's a lot of detail work. Unfortunately, the detail work is the stuff that takes the most time. But again, the fact that I'm using pre-done panels, and the good thing is I can always make, I still have the molds, I can always make another panel if there's some section that I need. So I really think this is going to pick up speed. It has to. I only have, what is it, 9 days left until this thing has to be done. So anyway, this is it. 9 days left and counting. Like, subscribe, hit the alert, hit the thanks to donate. And if you don't think I'm going to finish this in time, you don't know Jack. Bye.